Cleveland Browns HC search. Another candidate says, "No thank you." The Cleveland Browns' search for stability at head coach has once again taken an unexpected turn. As the franchise navigates another offseason filled with questions, uncertainty, and pressure, reports that yet another coaching candidate has declined interest in the job have reignited debate about the Browns' organizational direction, reputation, and long-term vision. For a franchise that has spent decades chasing consistency, credibility, and postseason relevance, hearing "no thank you" from a potential head coach is not merely a procedural setback. It is a reflection of how the league perceives Cleveland at this moment, a team with talent, resources, and a passionate fan base, but also one burdened by history, expectations, and unresolved structural challenges. This latest development does not derail the Browns' coaching search, but it does sharpen the spotlight on how difficult the process has become and why convincing top candidates to take the job remains a complex task. A search defined by pressure and expectations. The Browns are not searching for just any head coach. They are searching for the coach, the one who can finally anchor the franchise, maximize a talented roster, and deliver sustained success in one of the NFL's most competitive divisions. That context matters. Cleveland plays in the AFC North, a division known for physical football, elite coaching, and long-term stability. The Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers have been models of continuity, while the Cincinnati Bengals have emerged as a consistent contender built around a franchise quarterback. In that environment, the margin for error is razor thin. Any head coaching candidate considering the Browns' job understands this immediately. The expectations are not theoretical, they are urgent. Ownership wants results. Fans want wins. The front office wants alignment. And the league is watching. So when another candidate chooses to walk away, it raises an uncomfortable but necessary question: why? Why coaching candidates decline jobs? When a coach says, "No thank you," it is rarely about money alone. NFL head coaching opportunities are scarce, prestigious, and lucrative. Declining one usually reflects deeper concerns. Among the most common reasons candidates turn down a job: 1. Organizational stability. Candidates evaluate ownership involvement, front office power dynamics, and long-term vision. If there is uncertainty about who truly controls football decisions, that can be a red flag. 2. Quarterback situation. In today's NFL, a coach's success is tied directly to the quarterback. If there are doubts about health, consistency, or scheme fit, candidates hesitate. 3. Job security. Some openings come with short leashes. If a coach feels they will not be given time to build their system, develop players, and weather early struggles, the risk may outweigh the reward. 4. Alignment. Coaches want alignment with the general manager and ownership. Philosophical differences on roster building, analytics, or staff hiring can derail interest quickly. 5. Reputation. Fair or not, franchises carry reputations. A history of frequent coaching changes or public dysfunction can influence decisions. The Browns, despite recent playoff appearances and roster improvements, still wrestle with many of these perceptions. The Browns' recent progress, and lingering doubts. To be fair, Cleveland is not the same franchise it was a decade ago. The Browns have invested heavily in talent, built one of the league's most respected defensive units, shown a willingness to spend aggressively, reached the postseason in recent seasons. On paper, this should make the job attractive. However, progress has not erased all doubts. Coaching candidates look beyond roster snapshots. They analyze patterns, how coaches are supported, how decisions are made under pressure, and how adversity is handled. They study how previous regimes ended, not just why they failed, but how quickly patience ran out. The Browns' inability to fully escape their past remains a factor in how candidates view the job. The weight of history in Cleveland. Few franchises carry the emotional and historical weight of the Cleveland Browns. Decades of losing seasons, frequent coaching turnover, and organizational resets have shaped the narrative. While narratives do not win games, they influence perception, and perception matters during hiring processes. A head coach considering Cleveland must ask, will I be allowed to build my culture? Will I have autonomy? Will I survive early turbulence? If the answer to any of those questions feels uncertain, walking away becomes understandable. What this, "no thank you," really signals. This latest rejection should not be viewed as a catastrophic failure. Instead, it serves as a signal, an opportunity for reflection. It suggests that at least some candidates see risk that outweighs opportunity. That does not mean the Browns cannot land a strong head coach. It does mean they must be intentional in addressing the concerns that lead candidates to hesitate. Sometimes, a no reveals more than a yes. The candidate pool is shrinking, but not empty. Every coaching cycle narrows the pool. As candidates accept jobs elsewhere or remove themselves from consideration, teams must adjust their strategies. The Browns still have options. Experienced head coaches seeking a second chance. Rising coordinators looking for their first opportunity. Innovative assistants with strong schematic identities. Culture builders with leadership-first reputations. Each category comes with trade-offs. Experience brings knowledge but sometimes less innovation. Youth brings creativity but less authority. The Browns must decide what matters most right now. The quarterback question looms large. No element weighs heavier on a head coaching decision than the quarterback. Whether the Browns' current situation represents a short-term solution or a long-term gamble is a question candidates must answer honestly for themselves. Coaches know that their record, and often their career, is tied directly to quarterback performance. If there is uncertainty about health, consistency, or future flexibility at the position, it naturally affects interest. A coach may ask, am I being hired to win, or to manage instability? Ownership and front office dynamics. Modern NFL head coaches are collaborators, not dictators. Still, clarity matters. Candidates want to know who has final say on personnel, how disagreements are resolved, whether vision aligns from top to bottom. If those answers feel vague, it can undermine confidence before negotiations even begin. The Browns have emphasized structure and planning in recent years, but perception takes time to change, especially when past instability lingers in the collective memory of the league. Fan expectations add another layer. Cleveland fans are among the most loyal and passionate in sports. That passion is both a blessing and a challenge. For a head coach, it means unmatched support when winning, intense scrutiny when losing. Candidates understand that patience in Cleveland is finite. Years of frustration have sharpened expectations, not softened them. While many coaches thrive under pressure, others prefer environments where rebuilding phases are accepted more openly. Is this a negotiation tactic or a true rejection? In some cases, a reported, no thank you, is not a permanent door explain. Coaching searches involve leverage, timing, and positioning. A candidate may step back to evaluate other opportunities or to gain clarity on contract terms and authority. However, repeated rejections, whether temporary or permanent, still shape the narrative around a search. Even perception of difficulty can become self-reinforcing. What the Browns must do next. The Browns' path forward is not about panic. It is about precision. Key steps include clearly communicating vision and authority, demonstrating patience and long-term commitment, addressing quarterback plans transparently, selling not just the roster, but the culture, showing candidates how they will be supported, not just evaluated. Successful hires are often less about persuasion and more about alignment. Lessons from around the league. Teams that consistently attract top coaching talent tend to share common traits. Stable ownership, clear decision-making structures, trust between GM and coach, realistic timelines for success. The Browns have made strides in these areas, but consistency over time is what ultimately changes league-wide perception. A defining moment for the franchise. This coaching search represents more than filling a vacancy. It is a test of how far the Browns have truly come. Another candidate saying, no thank you, does not define failure. Ignoring the reasons behind it would. If Cleveland uses this moment to listen, adjust, and clarify its vision, the right candidate will eventually say, yes, not reluctantly but confidently. Conclusion. The search continues. The Cleveland Browns remain a franchise at a crossroads. Talent is present, resources are available, opportunity exists, yet opportunity alone does not guarantee buy-in. As another candidate steps away, the Browns are reminded that building a winning organization requires more than assembling players. It requires trust, stability, and belief, from coaches as much as from fans. The search continues, and with it, the hope that this time, the answer will not be, no thank you, but, this is the right place, at the right time.